The courtroom froze. Everyone stared at the little girl, her trembling words hanging in the air like a sharp blade. "Someone else?" the judge repeated, his voice cautious. "Are you saying there was another person involved?" The girl nodded, her small hands gripping the edge of the witness stand. "Max knows," she whispered. Her eyes turned toward her dog, who was now pacing slowly, nose lowered to the ground as if searching for something or someone. The accused man's face went pale. His lips moved, but no sound came out. The defense lawyer slammed his hand on the table. "This is absurd. A child and her dog cannot dictate the course of this trial." But before anyone could argue further, Max suddenly stopped. His body stiffened. His head turned sharply toward the back of the courtroom. Then he growled a deep, rumbling growl that sent chills through every person in the room. Slowly, every head turned in the direction he was staring. There, seated in the last row, was a woman. She had been quiet the entire trial, blending into the crowd unnoticed. But now her face drained of all color as Max stalked toward her, his growls intensifying with every step. The bailiff moved forward instinctively, blocking Max. But the little girl raised her hand. "It's okay," she said. "He won't hurt her, he just knows." The woman tried to stand, but her knees buckled. She grabbed the bench for support, her eyes wide with fear. "Ma'am," the judge said firmly, "please remain seated." But Max barked once, twice then. Lunged forward, stopping just inches away from her, his nose pressed against her coat. And then he pawed at her handbag. Gasps erupted from the crowd. "Check it," the girl whispered, her voice trembling but certain. The bailiff hesitated, but obeyed. He opened the bag carefully, and the entire room leaned in. Inside was a folded piece of fabric, stained with dried blood. The woman's face twisted in panic. It's not what you think," she stammered, but her voice shook uncontrollably. The girl's lawyer stood. "Your Honor, this is no coincidence. That fabric is from the same night. Max has been trained to recognize it." The judge looked stunned. "Who are you?" demanded. The woman's lips trembled. "I'm his sister," she admitted, pointing at the accused man. The courtroom exploded into chaos. Reporters shouted. The jury gasped. The accused man shot to his feet. "You weren't supposed to be here," he yelled, his face red with rage. Tears streamed down the girl's face. "I knew it," she whispered. Max remembered her scent. She was there, hiding in the shadows when it happened. The woman broke down, covering her face. "I didn't mean for it to happen," she cried. "I only tried to help him afterward." The judge's gavel slammed down, demanding order. "Enough," the judge roared. His voice cut through the chaos like a blade. "Bailiff, take them both into custody immediately." But then, just as the bailiff stepped forward, Max barked again, not at them. This time he turned, towards someone else. Girl gasped. "No," she whispered. Everyone followed Max's gaze. He was staring directly at one of the jurors. The room went silent. Max, the girl said, her voice trembling. "What are you doing?" The golden retriever growled again, low and dangerous. His eyes locked on the juror, who now looked visibly shaken. The judge's face turned pale. "What is the meaning of this?" The girl looked down at her dog, then back at the juror. "He smells it," she whispered. "He smells the same scent." The juror stood abruptly. "This is insane," he yelled. "You can't accuse me of butt." Before he could finish, Max lunged forward, stopping right at his feet. Growling fiercely, the courtroom descended into pure chaos. The judge slammed his gavel again and again, demanding order. But it was useless. The little girl's voice, small but chilling, silenced everyone. "Your Honor," she said, "Max doesn't make mistakes." Every eye turned back to her, stunned. The juror's face twisted, and then, in a shocking moment, he bolted for the door. "Stop him!" the judge shouted. The bailiffs rushed, tackling the juror before he could escape. Papers flew everywhere, the crowd screaming in disbelief. The little girl clutched her stuffed toy tightly, tears running down her cheeks. Max barked once more. standing guard by her side, as if he knew this was only the beginning. Because deep down, she knew Max had uncovered something even darker. And, as the courtroom descended into chaos, the judge stared at her. "What else does your dog know?" he demanded. The girl swallowed hard, her voice barely a whisper, more than anyone can imagine. The courtroom was in total uproar. The juror had been dragged away in handcuffs, shouting protests that no one believed. Reporters scribbled frantically. Flashes from cameras lit up the walls. And yet, the little girl stood silently, clutching her stuffed toy, while Max sat firmly by her side, unblinking, as if he was guarding a truth still untold. The judge slammed his gavel over and over. "Order. I demand order." The room slowly fell silent, all eyes on the girl and her golden retriever child, the judge said carefully, leaning forward. "If your dog knows more, now is the time to tell us." The girl hesitated. Her lips trembled, and her tiny hands gripped the toy tighter. She looked down at Max. He was staring at her, his eyes sharp, waiting, almost as if he were urging her. "Tell them." She nodded slightly, tears glistening in her eyes. "Max knows." "Who really planned it?" she whispered. The air left the room in a single gasp. The judge froze. "Planned it." The girl stepped forward slowly, her small voice carrying through the stunned silence. "The night my father died." Max saw everything. He remembers scents, voices, movements. He never forgets. Max barked once, short and sharp, then turned his head not toward the accused, not toward the woman. Not even toward the juror who'd been dragged away, but toward someone else entirely. The girl pointed with a trembling finger. There. The entire courtroom turned as one. Max was staring directly at the prosecutor. A ripple of disbelief surged through the room. The prosecutor stiffened in his seat. "This is absurd," he shouted, his polished composure cracking for the first time. "This is a child's fantasy, nothing more." But Max's growl deepened, his fur bristling. He moved forward with slow, deliberate steps. The judge raised an eyebrow. "Mr. Hale, do you have an explanation for this?" The prosecutor scoffed nervously. "It's a dog, Your Honor. Dogs growl at strangers all the time." But the girl shook her head. Her voice was steady now, stronger than before.
"I know, Max.
Only growls when he smells fear and when he smells guilt." The prosecutor's face drained of color suddenly. Max lunged not to bite, but to rip something from the man's coat pocket. Gasps filled the air as the dog dropped a small, folded piece of paper onto the floor. Right in front of the judge picked it up slowly, unfolding it. His eyes widened. It was a note, written in hurried scrawl. "She can't talk if she's gone." The room went dead silent. The prosecutor's face twisted in panic. "That's not mine," he cried. The judge's expression hardened. "Bailiff, arrest him." Chaos erupted once more as the prosecutor tried to bolt, but Max leapt forward, blocking his path with a menacing growl that froze him in place. The bailiffs cuffed him on the spot. The little girl's tears fell freely now. She sank to her knees and hugged Max tightly. "You did it," she whispered. "You kept your promise." The judge, still pale, stared at the child. "Promise? What promise?" She looked up, her voice trembling but resolute. "At night my father died. I told Max we would find justice together. I gave him a signal, and he never forgot." Max licked her cheek gently, as if comforting her. The entire courtroom was silent, stunned by what they'd witnessed, as the accused, his sister, the juror, and now even the prosecutor were let out in chains. The judge finally spoke, his voice grave. "This court has seen many cases, but never one like this. Justice has been served in a way none of us could have imagined." But then, just as people began to relax, Max suddenly turned his head sharply toward the doors. His ears perked, his body stiffened. The girl's smile faded. "Instantly, Max," she whispered. He barked once loud, sharp. Commanding Anne stared at the entrance like a sentinel. The courtroom doors creaked open slowly, though no one had touched them. A cold hush swept over the room. The girl's grip on her stuffed toy tightened. As she whispered words that chilled everyone present, "He's not done yet." The judge froze. "What do you mean?" She looked at Max, who growled lowly, his gaze fixed on the shadow in the doorway. The little girl's voice trembled. "There's still one more." Damned. And then, before anyone could move, the lights flickered, the door swung open wider, and a dark silhouette stepped inside. Imagine standing in front of a room full of people, your heart pounding in your chest, sweat collecting on your palms, and every fiber of your body screaming for you to run. Yet instead of stepping back, you take a deep breath, smile confidently, and speak with unwavering clarity. That's not talent. It's not luck. That is mental strength. The kind of strength that separates those who give up at the first sign of struggle from the leaders who rise above every obstacle and leave an unshakable legacy. Every successful leader you've ever admired, whether it's Elon Musk, Nelson Mandela, or Oprah Winfrey, didn't get to where they are because life was easy for them. They got there because they built their minds like warriors build their bodies, with relentless discipline, powerful habits, and a refusal to quit no matter how hard it gets. They mastered their thoughts before they conquered their world. And if you think mental strength is something only extraordinary people are born with, think again. It's a skill. It can be learned, and it can transform your life in ways you can't even imagine. But here's the truth most people won't tell you. Mental strength is forged in the fire of challenges. It is in those moments when you feel exhausted, hopeless, and ready to break that your mind gets trained.
Oh.
Don't avoid discomfort, they chase it. They see every setback as an opportunity to grow stronger. They know that the pain of discipline is always better than the pain of regret. Ask yourself this: how do you react when things don't go your way? Do you crumble under pressure, or do you stand firm and push harder? The difference between failure and success isn't in talent or intelligence, it's in the ability to stay calm under chaos. It's focused under stress, hopeful when everything around you screams despair. Building mental strength starts with mastering your inner voice. The mind of a weak person is full of excuses, doubts, and fears. But the mind of a strong leader is full of possibilities, persistence, and vision. When you train your thoughts to shift from "I can't" to "I will," everything changes. This is why leaders practice positive self-talk relentlessly. They don't allow negativity to take root. Instead, they rewire their brains to see solutions where others see problems. One of the most powerful techniques they use is controlled exposure to discomfort. Think about it. The reason soldiers train in brutal conditions isn't because they enjoy penance, because they're preparing for war. Similarly, leaders intentionally put themselves in situations that challenge them: public speaking, high-pressure negotiations, long working hours, and facing criticism without flinching. Each time they endure discomfort, they build resilience. And resilience is the cornerstone of mental strength. And then there's emotional control. Great leaders don't let anger, frustration, or fear dictate their decisions. They know emotions are powerful but temporary. Instead of reacting impulsively, they pause, breathe, and respond strategically. This ability to stay composed, even in chaos, is what inspires others to follow them. People trust leaders who are unshaken by storms, who radiate calm even when everything around them is falling apart. But here's the catch. Building mental strength doesn't happen overnight. It requires daily habits. Waking up early, even when you're tired. Exercising, even when you don't feel like it. Reading and learning, even when you're busy. Saying no to distractions, even when they're tempting. These small acts of self-discipline compound over time, hardening your mind just like lifting weights hardens your muscles. And let's not forget the role of failure. Every successful leader has failed, some spectacularly. Steve Jobs was fired from his own company. J.K. Rowling was rejected dozens of times before Harry Potter became a phenomenon. But they didn't let failure define them. They used it as fuel. They understood that failure is feedback, and feedback makes you stronger. Weak minds fear failure. Strong minds embrace it. If you truly want to build mental strength like a successful leader, you must also learn the art of delayed gratification. Leaders play the long game. While the average person seeks immediate comfort, leaders sacrifice short-term pleasure for long-term success. They don't waste hours scrolling on social media or binge-watching shows when they could be investing in themselves. They see time as their most valuable currency and spend it wisely. Ultimately, mental strength boils down to one powerful truth. You are not your feelings. You are not your fears. You are what you repeatedly do. And if you repeatedly choose discipline over comfort, persistence over excuses, and courage over fear, you will become unstoppable. Now, pause for a moment and imagine yourself 5 years from today. Picture yourself walking into a room with unshakable confidence. People turn their heads, sensing your presence even before you speak. They respect you not because of your title or wealth, but because you exude strength, the kind of strength that only comes from mastering your mind. That future is possible, but only if you decide today to train your mind like a leader. And that's where the journey truly begins. Mental strength isn't just about surviving. It's about developing such a powerful mindset that challenges become stepping stones and failure becomes a teacher. And while most people wait for the right time to start, leaders know there is no perfect time. They start where they are, with what they have, and they keep going even when no one believes in them. One of the most crucial aspects of mental strength is learning to detach from things you can't control. Think about it. How much time do people waste worrying about things they can't change? Traffic jams, the economy, what others think about them. Successful leaders don't let these things drain their energy. Instead, they focus only on what's within their control, their actions, their habits, and their mindset. By doing so, they conserve their mental energy for what truly matters. Leaders also build strong routines. They understand that willpower is limited, so they create systems that make discipline automatic. Whether it's waking up at the same time every day, meditating to clear their mind, or maintaining a strict schedule, these routines eliminate unnecessary decisions and free up mental space for bigger challenges. Another secret weapon of mentally strong leaders is visualization. Before every big challenge, they see themselves succeeding in their mind. This isn't fantasy, it's neuroscience. By visualizing success, they program their brain to act with confidence. Athletes use this technique before big games. CEOs use it before presentations. And you can use it before any major step in life. But here's the deeper truth. Mental strength isn't built in comfort zones. It's forged in the moments you want to quit, but choose not to. It's in waking up early when your bed feels warm. It's in pushing through one more workout when your muscles ache. It's in facing rejection, but still knocking on the next door. Each small act of perseverance is like adding another brick to the fortress of your mind. Even the greatest leaders feel fear. The difference is, they act despite it. They've trained their minds to see fear as a signal to move forward, not backward. Every time you do something that scares you, you weaken fear's hold on you. And one day, you'll look back and realize that the thing you once feared now feels trivial. Surrounding yourself with the right people is another critical step. Mental strength is contagious. When you spend time with driven, resilient individuals, their energy rubs off on you. On the flip side, if you surround yourself with negativity, constant complaining, and laziness, it will slowly poison your mindset. Leaders guard their circle fiercely, knowing that the people around them either push them forward or pull them down. And then there's gratitude. Trade often overlooked in building strength. Gratitude shifts your focus from what's missing to what's present, grounds you during chaos, and keeps you centered. Many successful leaders start or end their day by writing down 3 things they're grateful for. It's simple, but it rewires your brain to stay positive even in tough times. Ultimately, building mental strength is about consistency, not giant leaps, but small daily steps that compound. The world is full of people who dream big, but quit at the first hurdle. The leaders you admire are the ones who kept going when no one was watching. They stayed late, worked harder, and endured more than most can imagine. That's why they lead, and others follow. And here's the question you must ask yourself. Will you keep letting circumstances control you? Or will you take control of your mind, sharpen it like steel, and walk the path that leaders walk. Because in the end, mental strength is a choice. Every day you either train it or you weaken it. And those who choose strength, they change not just their lives, but the lives of everyone around them.